You guys, 2024 really is the year of official style pad printed customs. The community is booming, and there's a small producer that is really hitting hard for me right now. Crosshair Bricks, originally a reseller, is now making customs of their own, and they are awesome. Crosshair's first wave was pretty cool, but the first step in any journey will be a little unsteady. A lot of the printing in the first wave wasn't great, but the standout for me was the 9th Assault Corps. This Revenge of the Sith Blink and You Miss It clone is one of the designs I've always been fascinated with after noticing that these weren't just regular plain clones. And it's so cool to have it in minifigure form now. And believe it or not, this figure was considered B grade and listed at a reduced price. To me, most of this printing looks incredible. The only errors I see are maybe a couple shifted prints and some misalignment, but other than that, this is a totally passable minifigure. It uses a GCC replica helmet and has printed arms, which I'm having a hard time sticking by my only named clones will have arm printing rule, because these printed arms honestly might be my favorite of any of the custom printed arms out there, as they're super close to the official arm prints. They also just released a version 2 of this minifigure in Wave 3, with even better printing and updated details. In his second wave, Crosshair Bricks released these printed arms for Captain Wilco from Season 2 of The Bad Batch. And if you've been around my channel for a bit, you've heard me talk about how much I want more sets and minifigures from The Bad Batch. These Wilco arms are perfect. They're just grunt arms with a black comlink, but it really elevates the GCC Wilco torso that was released back in December of 2023. Unfortunately, the comlink does get covered by the pauldron, but I still know it's there, and that's what matters. With the second wave, Crosshair really locked in and made some of the coolest clone minifigures to release this year. Commander Thyre is one of my personal, kinda deep cut favorite clones. This version of Thyre actually comes from these Hasbro 2-packs from way back in the day, before most of you had object permanence. I vividly remember when I was a kid choosing between the 2-pack that Thyre was in that came with Palpatine, or another 2-pack that I'll talk about in a second. This minifigure is so cool. The attention to detail, replicating every single ounce of detail from the action figure without getting too overly detailed is just awesome. The printed arm detail is great. Along with this GCC pauldron, this minifigure comes with a GCC replica shock helmet. But, for me, I like when Thyre had the macro binoculars in the first episode of the Clone Wars. So I swapped the helmet I had on my own sorta kit bash Thyre, and this really just completes the figure for me. In Wave 3, they also released this exclusive comma produced by GCC. Definitely one of my favorites of this year so far. And for the price of $22, you can't beat it. The other Hasbro 2-pack that I ended up choosing was the Darth Vader and Commander Bo 2-pack. So this Commander Bo minifigure is very special to me. Not only because of the nostalgia factor, since Bo is the reason I love macro binoculars on clones in the first place, but also because, just like Thyre, this minifigure is so incredibly well made. Again, the amount of detail without getting too overly detailed is just so damn good. I'd do a full comparison with the Bo figure, if only he wasn't ripped into pieces. This Bo uses a GCC blue pauldron, which hasn't even been released by GCC themselves yet, along with a GCC blue comma, but uses an official helmet for the macro binoculars. Personally, I got the version of Bo that was listed without the helmet, just to save a few bucks, since I have a few 501st helmets laying around. Again, I just can't stress enough that this minifigure is so cool to own, and just like Thyre, may end up being one of my favorites of the year. And finally, from Wave 3, Commander Bacara. This is one of the Revenge of the Sith commanders I've really wanted for the longest time, but there were never any great options in my opinion. Now here's an official 2020 style pad printed custom version, and I think the wait was worth it. This Bacara uses a Clone Army Customs helmet, and I think it works really well. I'm normally not the biggest fan of CAC helmets, but this one works well enough with other LEGO helmets. He also has another GCC produced Kama in dark red, and just like Thyre, he has some amazing printed detail. So happy to finally have all the Revenge of the Sith commanders. It's always a good day when I get to feature another pad printer on this channel. We really are spoiled with how many options we have now for pad printed official style custom minifigures, and those numbers seem to be going up. Crosshair has really impressed me with his customs and with all the super niche characters that really don't get enough love. In a time where the market is oversaturated with clone troopers, it really is great to have a customizer that's reinvigorating the market. Later.